guys ready for the big bow? Reforge a normal or magic item as a rare item with the random modifiers including a physical modifier. Reforge the color of 2 random sockets on an item, turning them red and green. First this. Yeah, I mean, that bow has now 76 DPS and mine has a freaking 34. I mean, that's a big win, I guess. Holy shit, dude. Okay, again, from theory. Remove a random non-physical modifier from an item and add a new physical modifier. This bow has triple prefix, double fist damage, and has fire damage. So if I use this one on that, it should remove the fire damage and give me some hybrid damage. If that works, we have a god tier bow. If not, we screwed. It actually did. It gave me fist hybrid. And this bow has freaking 69 damage without quality. And I'm freaking level 39. Holy shit. It's going to be so busted in craftings, dude. It's 100% guaranteed. It's not re-rolling. It's just taking stats away that you don't want to have and add stats that you want to have. This is going to be insane in terms of crafting, dude. It's insane.
Wow.
Wow. Thanks for the bits, dude. Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. So it is almost 7 AM in the morning, so I've been playing all night basically, right? It's league start. I was motivated, okay? So I said yesterday, so this is basically video number 2 of the League diary basically, and the build diary of Harvest League, the Bleed Bow Gladiator. But before we talk about the Gladiator or the changes, we're gonna talk about the league start itself. Was there anything special? Sadly not. So, as you saw on the clips, on the highlights, it's going to be way more highlights, but, you know, it is hard for me to bring highlights if there are none, you know? No Exalt Orb drop, no 6-link drop, no Lucky something, no Tabula, no Gold Dream, just absolutely nothing. I found a couple of uniques, but all of those are, even now in the first 10 hours of the league, they are not even worth the chaos, you know? So, pretty shitty, but still, I was also spending, I mean, I currently have a play time. We have 8 hours, 29 minutes. I just finished my first Blood Aqueducts run, so we are at Act 9, basically. Sorry if I sound a little bit tired, but as you can imagine, playing all night, 7 in the morning, so just to state that. So basically I said either I'm going to play Act 5, Act 9, or the first map, and I decided to only go for Act 9. Not because I'm like lazy or something, but I was just spending a lot of time in the garden. And what we're gonna do now, since the highlights were actually kind of short and stuff, you know, I prepared my garden for you guys. So we're gonna start opening and see what we get with a bunch of these, yeah, beautiful, what is it, primal, wild, 4 times wild, then we have like 4 times the yellow one, which is the vivid, and then we have 3 times, I think, the blue one, which is the primal. So all of these are tier 1 seeds. All of these I collected in the past like 2 hours or so. I still have gathered a bunch of these, like 87 wild ones over here, 56, 37. So it seems like the blue ones are the rarest ones. I'm not sure if this is just because you start with the purple ones, or do you start with the purple ones? I think so, right? The thing is, I want to also talk about what I think, how this one works, because this, what I'm doing here at the moment is, I think that the first seeds, the ones that, these have level requirements, right? So you see those here, this one level 60, level 55, level, I don't know, like 60. I think later on, when you're at level, at tier 16 or so, you're gonna have like, maybe seeds level 83 or something, so they're probably gonna be way better than the ones you're gonna find while mapping. And what I did is I was actually building 2 tanks over here. I have like 2 tanks on each side, and at the moment I'm just planting those tier 1 seeds. I just grind those. If I need something for leveling, then super fine. The crafts are insane, helps you a ton of leveling, like on leveling gear. And if not, if I don't need anything else, I just pump them into my storage tanks, because I kind of get an idea how it's working. but it is all about testing, you know? You cannot really expect me to just play overnight and just tell you guys now how it works to get to the end game boss with the tier 4 seeds and so on. Based on the Bleed Bow Gladiator, I think we're gonna do this first. Let's talk about the build first, and then we're gonna do this harvest thing, and then we're gonna try to make or create my new bow. So basically, the build, the Bleed Bow Gladiator, is fantastic, as I expected it. And oh my god, my hideout is so scuffed. For some reason, my pals are gone, right? They are not gone. If I do edit, you see that those toms are all there, and I can actually click on them. But they're somewhere, like, sometimes they are there. If I refresh or relog, sometimes they are there, sometimes not. So my hideout is pretty scuffed without the floor, actually, right? It looks kind of weird. But yeah, as I said, currently running 4 links. I have a split arrow with chance to bleed, chain, and fork. I did use pierce before. I still have it somewhere here. So I used a split arrow with chance to bleed, pierce, and vicious projectiles. But for some reason, I don't know if it's just personal taste. If you play pierce, if you play if you play like a chain fork or something like that. And since I'm used to chain and fork, and since I always use that on elemental hit, I just like this version better. I just love it when you shoot at the enemies and the projectiles are just bouncing and the bleed pops and stuff like that. It is just fantastic, right? For single target, I currently have chance to bleed, puncture, vicious projectiles, and deadly ailments. I do know that brutality support is better than, for example, the swift affliction, but it's hard in the start, you know, with like limited chromatic orbs or something, or like 8 chaos orbs. I don't really want to invest trying to recolor this to 2 red so I get the brutality in. It is just minor difference at the moment with that gear that I'm having, but still I have absolutely no problem until now. I did die once, sadly, so I have 1 death, okay? And this was not even on monsters. I kinda died on the Labyrinth trial with the spikes of the floor, you know, and they caused my bleeding, and I didn't have a bleed immunity flask, and I was just dying, and I was like, I'm so bad, you know. But still, build performs really good. I even done Yugal in Act 8 here. I've done Aberrath. I've done everything here. I've done the lab, 2 labs already, so I already have my bleed pops, which makes the build even better. And I did the lab on level 54, I think, and this one on level 31 or so when I had the trials completed, basically. Was absolutely no problem. My puncture, the bleed lasts for 10.88 seconds, so when Isaru spawns, I just hit 1 puncture and I just wait and he's dead, and it's absolute great to play. Path of Building link of the current state is in the description below. I leveled it up as exactly as I mentioned it in the first video, where I said like I need to get the Deadly Draw, I need to get Dirty Techniques and the Bleed Cluster early on. Then when I have the first lab, when I get my chance to bleed and I get and I have my 100% chance to bleed, what I have currently, I have 175% already because of the Bleed Clusters over here and stuff. Then I will start moving towards life nodes. And I pathed out on the right side because I needed the intelligence for the malevolence and other things. I think puncture needs also some intelligence. And to just solve all the stat problems in the start, I just said like, you know what, I'm pathing over here to thick skin, take 30 intelligence here and there, and that should be no problem. And then at the last part, I was pathing over here to Constitution and also the Heart of Warrior. So basically for the next couple of levels, I will just finish up the life over here. I have exactly 3,000 life on Act 9 with pretty bad or mediocre leveling gear, basically. None of this is bought. I think the bow is something a viewer asked me if I need it, and I bought it off him for like a chaos or something, right? But I did not went to PoE Trade and buy any rare items yet. I will do this once I am at mapping, basically, and then I will go for the first revamp of the character, like spending a chaos on every single slot to get the best value out of PoE Trade. At the moment, just quest rewards. This helm is pretty good. Life double resistance and the craft resistance. This was a quest reward in Act 8, I think. The chest doesn't... I even forgot to craft some life on my chest. You know, sometimes you just gotta get over your gear and be like, okay, I have some transmutes, let's get some life on it. And now I'm over 3k, so... It's just a min-maxing, you know, and I don't really want to get, like, this craft over here, like 2 chaos. 2 chaos is way much that I want to spend early on for some movement speed on items that I'm probably going to replace in the next 30 minutes or so, you know, so... you're always gonna be careful, or at least like pretty much everything that I have here is just solo self-found or basically crafted within the harvest, and it is actually a blast here. I think I'm just going to run a blood aqueduct since I just came over here. We are currently level 63, and I think tomorrow, or at least when I wake up again and start streaming again, I'm gonna do a couple of runs till like 65, maybe get a humility card or two, get a chaos or something. And as you see, you just shoot once and all these projectors are just bouncing off, and obviously I'm not one-shotting everything because I steal my bow is like level 35 or something. So I have this bow since quite some time, but it is actually pretty good. And if there are monsters that are surviving longer, you still can place your totem, and they take like 210% bleed damage because they count as moving, although they're standing still. Sadly, I'm not having the third lap yet, so no arena challenger charges. I focused on the bleed pops first because it just feels so much better with the bleed pops in terms of the clearing speed. But overall, I just have to say, for being a league starter, for playing on a 4 link that doesn't even have damaging links, like I have split arrow with chance to bleed, and then I'm running chain and fork, and both of them are actually reducing my damage as far as I know, just for quality of life, and still like running around just clearing everything with like a shot or two is actually like super great. I don't know, I'm just hyped about this build. I love this playstyle. It's fast, and it's going to be way faster once we unlock the arena challenger charges. The single target is great because this is an actual 4-link DPS. I haven't even checked PUB yet, how much damage I currently have, but it has been absolutely no problem. I think Duedre, I didn't even click on the counter to switch her face. I just placed down my totems. I shoot once at her, waited like 3, 4, or 5 seconds, and the bleed did all the job, and it was just fantastic. Absolutely no problem, and I don't think that I will run into any problems here. So another seed cache. We're just gonna take all of these, and this is basically the blood aqueducts run. No humility cards. We hopefully gonna find some tomorrow. And yeah, this is about the build. The next steps, the main focus here, we have 3 main parts that I want to upgrade. Lionized Fall on the left side, because I want to go into cleaving, slaughter, and razor's edge with the Lionized Fall. As long as I don't have that, I'm just going to spec into life because my damage is okay, I would say, right? Then the Elder item level 83 bow with the bleed modifier is something you won't get like today or tomorrow, I guess. It's still item level 83, so somebody needs to find it on tier 18, and they are quite rare. And the third one would be Thread of Hope, which is not a thing at the moment as well. So I think basically I'm gonna save up currency now, and I will try to get the Lionized Fall as cheap as possible. They started today at like 15 chaos when I had like 3 chaos on stash. At the moment they are somewhere 25 to 30. I guess in like 8 hours when I wake up again, they're probably gonna be like 40 or 50 chaos. So they're gonna rise in price faster than I can make currency at the moment, but maybe when we are at mapping, maybe we're gonna get a lucky Exile drop or something valuable that I can sell to get my Lionized Fall early on, because this one has, at the moment, the highest priority. Good, other than that, nothing too special. I mean, current level 63, what do you expect? We have leveling gear, not even leveling gear, my gems are level 16, so nothing too fancy. Good, let's talk about the harvest. How do I think, or how do I start? Basically, I started just spamming all my things that I had. At some point, I said, like, you know what? I'm just going to place all of that full, collect all the seeds, put them in a stash. And once I have the entire thing grown out, then I want to use it. Why is that? Because I needed those tanks. So you're probably gonna find out yourself in the position. You get the first tank on the NPC, but after that, you're gonna have a hard time because they cost 75 life force, right? And if you only have like 8 or 10 seeds, it's hard to get the 75 life force. So that's why I started to just grind up these and then just pick up the seeds, put them in the stash, and once, like now, for example, when everything is grown, now I'm gonna harvest those, and it's going to be like 100 or something life force, so I can build more tanks. I haven't done any tier 2 seeds. I do have some. I still need to figure out how this works, but I think it's just that you have to link your disperser, basically linking to a tank of the color that you need, and then activate it so it spreads out the vivid or something, so you can actually harvest the tier 2. And basically what that means here, when it says like requires 4 adjacent vivid seeds or adjacent or whatever, I know this word from Hearthstone, it's like next to each other, right? So if you place that, you need to place 4 yellow ones next to it, then it counts. And then you need, for the wild, you need the disperser to spread the wild growth, for example, to the seed. But I still have to test that, and I can hardly make a full guide about this one. It's just like how I experience it at the moment. Let me quickly remove my alert box here. But at the moment, as I said, I don't worry about these low tier things, and I just put those over here, and then I gather the life force for my tanks, because later on I can still remove the tanks. They will still be full, and I'm gonna place them at a part where I want to have them. So why did I choose this kind of method here? There is no specific reason. I just wanted to have all colors separated from each other because they're not connected at the moment, and at the moment I'm just filling up those tanks. Later on, I think I'm going to use the biggest stage over here, and by the way, I don't really like this with the stairs and so on, because you cannot plant seeds over here, right? And I think I take the top side here, this is the biggest place, for all the tier 1 spamming seeds to fill up tanks. I'm going to move down here to the second biggest, or to the middle range part, where I'm gonna plant my tier 2 and 3 seeds. And I think on the smallest part over here, we only can place 1 harvester, basically 1 square for my tier 3 and 4 seeds. And I'm probably going to connect those within each other for the tanks and also the dispersers. But this is something for the future. This is something I'm not aware of how this actually works. I still need to figure out. At the moment, I'm just filling up tanks, and now we're just gonna harvest all of these so you see how this one looks like. For the clear, obviously, place your totems, whatever, and your split arrow with your, what is it called, chain and fork, whatever, is going to do the job. It's absolutely no problem. Sadly, I didn't have any good things yet. I think we can even harvest multiple at once, so we're just gonna unlock all of these, place some totems. There's quite some monsters here, but with the bleed pops, it should definitely be not really a big problem. And the aim, what I want to do now, either, like, it depends what I'm going to get. I know that the outcome of the seed is going to tell you what you can get, but in the end, as I said, low tier seeds, I want to get my bow done, right? So I have a new bow base, basically. In the highlights, you saw how I made this bow. It currently has 183 DPS. I have one on the stash that is better here, a Falling, that's currently having 180. It's only counting the physical. Skip the lightning, that's not made for bleeding. So we're gonna quality this one up. It currently has 199 DPS, so already 20 DPS better than this one. But what I want to do now is basically try to find those mods where it says like remove a non-physical and add a physical. Then I can add a hybrid, and this bow can technically have like 250 DPS, which is like, what is it, like 70 DPS flat more than the one that I'm wearing, which is a big DPS upgrade. So let me see what we got basically. So let's just check this one. Is there anything good? Reforged colors, I don't really care. I mean, turning them red and blue, blue and green, caster modifiers, reforged rare with rare item with modifiers including caster, doesn't matter for me. Here we go, reforged a normal item with including a physical, reforged normal, reforged a rare item with new random modifiers including a physical. I don't want to really reroll this. I want to get the stat where it says like remove a fizz and add a, or remove a non-fizz and add a fizz. That would be top notch, because then you can remove lightning and get the hybrid mod. So it's going to be hell of a big DPS bow here, right? So do we have anything including a physical modifier? This is all reforged. So randomize numeric values or rare item. Is this good rolled actually? 103, Fortune 70. Yeah, it's pretty well rolled, so I don't really want to do that. So I guess either I'm going to create some storage tanks because I have like a lot of life force over here, or I'm just going to create some dispensers or something, or I say like, you know what, click on that and fill up my tank, because at the moment I have 2 storage tanks on each side, and this is quite fine. So this was only part 1. What do we have here? Reforge a rare with physical. If I put this on here, it should actually search it. But sometimes there is like reforge unique into another unique, right? So if I get this one, I'm gonna use one of my trash uniques and see if I get something. So including physical, that's all reforge. Remove a random physical modifier from an item, that's bad. Including a fire modifier, so not really. Let's just condense, because I don't really want to waste your time when I'm planning on what to buy next. And filling up the tank is never a bad thing, actually, right? So, reforge. I mean, if I get one red color, I could actually do this on the bow, because I need one for chance to bleed anyways. Turning red and blue, red and green. That could actually work. So if I take this one and say red and green... We have the red socket, that's good. Reforge colors. It's always reforge with caster items. Randomized numeric. Sockets on an item 10 times. This is like funny. It's like spamming 10 jeweler orbs, right? And the best result is going to get gapped. But 10 times, what is 10 jeweler orbs, you know? So, and the other thing, I think we're just gonna condense, and we have another challenge completed. I guess one of the tanks is now full. The other one has only 75, so I guess I should actually get a new tank here. Good, anything else over here? I think the physical was on the yellow part. So the purple one is like reforging colors and stuff. Reforge colors. Rare item with... caster modifier. So I think like purple is like all about casters. I think now we're just gonna get another storage tank and just remove the rest of the life force. We have like 100 thieves, so we can actually craft another one over here. Because tanks you're always gonna need, right? And it's the most expensive. The dispensers are 30, the pylons are 10, so it's easy to get. Good, that's about the first cluster over here. Any good drops here? Probably not. So let's go to the next one. I think we're just gonna activate all of that at once, like... No, I was too slow! Shit. And when you do this tier 1, you can actually get tier 2 seats. And I guess when you do a bunch of tier 2, you can get tier 3 seats, and so on. So you're only gonna drop in the maps, you're only gonna drop the tier 1 seats, I guess. So let's kill off these ones, but as you see, clearing wise, it's Bleed Bow Gladiator. It's just insanely cool. Good. Any drops? No. So what do we have here? Set the item to 3 sockets, doesn't really matter. I think we're just gonna do this quickly now, and because after the video I can still take my time and decide if I want to use pylons or build more tanks based on what I want to build next, right? So, cold modifiers, reforge, randomized numeric again. It's always like reforge. I need to like remove, so this is not over here. What about this one? 3 sockets, 4 sockets. Augment an item with a new attack modifier. This is like an exalted slam basically with an attack modifier. It's like insane. Like we're gonna have so many crafting possibilities with these, and we're gonna have such crazy mirror tier items this league, because it's going to be easier if you have like 2 tier 1 stats to actually slam with the harvest. The third one, when you know it's going to be a physical as well, you know, it's going to be sick, dude. So reforge normal with more life modifiers. Not really. So, set item 3 socket speed modifier. No, remove a speed modifier. It's basically an annulment orb that you can choose of, right? It's really great. I really love this already. And I haven't even scratched on the surface of what we can actually do over here. Augment the item with a new attack modifier. Reforge, remove a random life modifier. Not really. Good, let's check the blue ones. It seems like I'm not gonna be able to get the stat that I'm actually looking for. Not this time around, I was fast enough. So let's kill off the primal ancients here. Diablo 3, oh god. So here we have some tier 2 seats, that's super nice. Tomorrow I definitely want to find out what about these tier 2 seats, how to make those properly. So, defense modifiers, lightning, defense, lightning, chaos modifiers. So, probably not. I think the seed is based, like, as you see here, the blue one is like lightning and chaos. The yellow one is like cold damage, I think. And the The purple one is fire damage, so it's definitely based on that as well. Change unique item into another unique item. So let's go. We're gonna take that. I mean, I know I can actually take stuff. Wait. I can actually use this button here that you can actually take items from your stash. Was the second one. So this one, we're gonna just take any of these weird things that nobody needs anyways. And we're gonna get cheap construction. That's... yeah. Was garbage is now garbage. Reforge the links between sockets on an item, linking 3 sockets, 4 sockets, and a couple of guildmates already said they have like 5 sockets and 6 sockets as well. But nobody has like a 6 socket or 6 link already, but 5 links they had on like level 40, so might actually have it on my stash basically. So you're just gonna find out basically a lot of data mining what kind of seeds you need to get those, because they're all like named, I guess. So defense, reforge, defense, randomize, reforge. So nothing over here, I guess. Oh god, so long video again. Sorry guys. Has been a long night and there is so much more to learn about this one. And it's like reforge, randomize. It's like a divine orb. So nothing here, actually. Sad face. I thought I can finish my bow now. I mean, this is already better than this, but still, I would like to have this remove fist, or remove non-fist and add fist. That would be great. But yeah, the next thing is, since all since all my seeds are now gone, remember, if you hold down control and click on the items, you can remove them. Now I can't because it's actually active, but as soon as I go into Blood Aqueducts, open a new seed and go in here as again, or open a new instance basically, I can remove everything while holding down control, like this one. I have it in my inventory and I can just place it again. It's not going to disappear. But as I said, now since all the seeds are gone, I'm going to make up my mind how I can make this even better without like only storing items. I want to actually plant my tier 2 seeds to see, to get more experience on how to connect the lines and so on. But yeah guys, that's it for today. What we're gonna do today, since this is now League Diary Day 1 basically, so what is the plan for today? Definitely get into maps, finish 3 laps. Basically 2 is already done, so I need to finish Act 9 and 10, and I want to do the Merciless lap basically, which is going to be the Challenger charges. I want to get 50 white maps done. I know that's a lot, but still, I want to get 50 white maps done and at least 1 single yellow item. And if possible, I want to get the Lionized Fall. It's going to be hard to do so because I don't know how insane the prices will rise or fall, or how fast can I get currency. Will I find an Exalt or not? Is something I cannot control basically. I can just farm and hope for the best, but I can control how many white maps I'm going to do. So 50 white maps, 1 yellow tier map, doing the lap, and hopefully get the Lionized Fall. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video, or on the stream.